Many thought 2017 would be the year of the woman, the year that the ultimate glass ceiling would shatter, the year that a woman would take the White House. Instead, it began with a march. It's a march that became a movement, the first of many counterpunches against a perceived assault on women's rights.
This is what America looks like!
In politics, women refused to be silenced. Senator Elizabeth Warren continued to speak out against the confirmation of Jeff Sessions.
The senator will take her seat.
She was warned. She was given an explanation. Nevertheless, she persisted.
She got a slap on the wrist, but the moment went viral. There was also Representative Maxine Waters.
Reclaiming my time.
Several times.
Reclaiming my time.
When we were doing our
Reclaiming my time.
That became a rallying cry for women who felt silenced by male colleagues, particularly women of color.
Every person who's ever been singled out.
Danica Roem became the first openly trans woman to win a state seat, ousting the very man who sponsored her state's version of the bathroom bill.
This one's for you.
And in Alabama, black women cast the deciding vote in defeating accused child molester Roy Moore. But around the nation, women's struggles at work continued to capture headlines. In March, President Trump revoked the 2014 Fair Pay and Safe Workplaces order, and a Google engineer was fired after publishing a memo that said that the lack of women in tech was due to biological reasons. It wasn't until 1984 that the number of women studying computer science started falling. So how does that fit into your argument as to why there aren't more women in tech?
It was simply different kinds of work. It was more like accounting rather than modern day computer programming.
You say those jobs are more like accounting. I mean, look at Grace Hopper, who pioneered computer programming, Margaret Hamilton, who created the first ever software. Those aren't accounting type jobs. Still, there were victories. The U.S. women's hockey and soccer teams scored in their fight for better pay. And while the numbers are still minuscule overall, 2017 saw a record number of female CEOs in the Fortune 500. And a symbolic first for working moms. Sarah Sanders became the first mother to serve as White House press secretary. In Hollywood, women won at the box office. Girls Trip made more than $100 million, a milestone for a black production starring a female cast.
I slay all day.
And Wonder Woman became the highest grossing film ever for a solo female director.
What is a secretary?
I go where he tells me to go and I do what he tells me to do.
Oh, well, where I'm from, that's called slavery.
But of course, this was also the year when a harsh reality for many women went from being whispered about to dominating the public debate. Women have long faced sexual harassment and assault, and power wielded by some elite men has led to abuse.
Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 6 sexual harassment complaints against Bill O'Reilly.
In April, the New York Times reported that Fox News had spent millions to settle allegations of sexual harassment against Bill O'Reilly. Then, in October,
goes to the bathroom and comes back out completely naked. My memory is an immediate adrenaline rush of how do I get out of here? What's gonna happen? Is he gonna rape me?
Sexual assault allegations against Harvey Weinstein ignited a nationwide dialogue that exposed scores of men across industries. #MeToo captured the mood on social media, where thousands used the hashtag to share their own harassment stories. That moment of reckoning hit the tech industry after a former Uber employee wrote a letter that exposed sexism at the startup. Women started coming forward with their own stories of a toxic culture in Silicon Valley.
It was the moment that I felt my leg being grabbed under the table that I thought, holy moly, this is real.
From tech to media to politics, no industry is immune. Now, 1 year after Trump and his shocking Access Hollywood tape, allegations of misconduct in Congress going back years are coming to the surface. Sexual harassment, the way lawmakers police themselves came under scrutiny, including how taxpayer money can be used to settle sexual harassment claims against legislators.
It was a fact of life. It was Republicans, it was Democrats. People knew who to avoid.
Bills were introduced requiring mandatory anti-sexual harassment training for the House and Senate. In response to this moment of reckoning, Time magazine named women, the silence breakers, its Person of the Year for 2017. So many women have found the courage to stand up to their abusers. In an era that will surely be defined as a moment where women raise their hands, the question is, now what? As we look towards next year, we have to wonder, will this truly bring about lasting change for women? Or is it just another false start?